everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm Peter Prop.
And I'm Shobhan Amani, and we're so thrilled to host you here tonight for our StartUp Westport's first ever pitch competition.
So, about a year ago, StartUp Westport had an exciting question. Could we create a Shark Tank for Connecticut? And how would we even do that? As we all know, Westport is full of talent, so I was able to recruit Shobhana, a former investment banker and startup leader, as co-chair for this program. I'm an ex-IBMer, and I work a lot with startups, and I invest in startups. We got together in early 2025 to develop this program.
We saw an opportunity to help Connecticut's early-stage companies through a multi-stage program that would include education, coaching, and a big pitch night at the end. We didn't quite anticipate all the work, but it was well worth it to see these startups truly grow. We wanted to offer a prize that would truly be impactful to early-stage companies. Cliff Serlin and the board agreed to designate $25,000 in non-dilutive prize money. So it's going to be very exciting at the end of the night to see who wins. We launched and we received a lot of applications. We spent time carefully evaluating each application and selecting the teams with the most potential who could truly leverage our program. Over the last couple of months, Startup Westport mentors also provided a variety of business and startup education. Peter and I personally spent individual attention with all the startups in our semifinal. We spent office hours working with them to position themselves and be the best they could at the pitch tonight. It's been a truly amazing process, and it's been interesting to just see how all of these companies have grown. On October 7th, we held a semifinal. It was very hard. It was a very serious competition. Dan Bickle, myself, and Peter Prop decided who would be here tonight. And after a lot of discussion, we came to that conclusion.
Right, so we started with 77 applicants. We narrowed that down to 21 participating companies, and now we have 5 finalists competing tonight. We are so excited to see them in action. How about you, Startup Westport? Are you excited? Let them hear it. All right. But before we move on with the program, we need to thank all of our supporters. So I'd like to invite Startup Westport's president, Cliff Serlin, to this stage to introduce our latest sponsors.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay, great. First, a huge round of applause for Shobhana and Peter. They have worked their asses off. Great job, guys. Great job. Tonight is going to be an amazing night. When I look at these numbers, 77 applicants, 21 accepted semifinalists, and now 5 finalists that we'll hear from tonight. The 77 number is incredible. That means that 77 people in this area have an idea or have committed to starting a business. Think about that, 77 people. This is our first year. I can't even imagine where this is gonna go in the future, but we are so super excited about that. I have a question. How many people in here are either thinking about starting a business or have started a business? Wow, wow. Well, hats off. This is great. I'm gonna speak to you as an entrepreneur. My entire career, I've been an entrepreneur. And there's nothing scarier than starting a business. And in my role as president of Startup Westport, I have the opportunity to sit down and meet with lots of people who are starting businesses. Every single person is scared, concerned, and asking them the question, is now the proper time to start a business? I'll let you in on a little secret. There's never a perfect time to start a business. There's always gonna be uncertainty. There's always gonna be risk. But there is no greater path forward than taking control and agency of your future. And so I encourage each one of you who are thinking about launching a business to take those steps. We're here as a resource, Startup Westport. We want to help you. I look around this room and we're at capacity. There are people standing because we don't have enough seats. That shows how the town of Westport is here to support you. Startup Westport is here to support you. So we applaud you. We are excited to see where this all goes in the future. And if it breaks the right way, hopefully next year, 5 of you will be up here pitching your competition to us, your new company to us. So we're excited about that. Okay. A few words just to thank our sponsors. First, none of this would be possible without our sponsors. We want to thank Myriad 360, HSS, Wigan and Dana, Northeast Innovations, Manifest Security, Cyber Security. Sorry, Mark, I messed that up. Thank you. That is what enables us to put these types of events on. Now I want to change and focus on tonight's primary backer, the person who is really enabling tonight to take place, Bill Loftus, my good friend Bill Loftus from So speaking to Bill earlier, Bill leads Coastal Bridge Advisors. They are based right over here on Riverside. I know he's going to be very humble as he speaks about Coastal Bridge Advisors, so I'm going to be his pitch man. We pitch here, so that's what we're doing tonight. Coastal Bridge Advisors has been amazing. We can't thank them enough for all of their support. Your support is enabling people to realize their dreams, so thank you. Thank you, Bill, and Coastal Bridge Advisors. And just a few words about Bill. Bill is an entrepreneur himself. So the idea that we have an entrepreneur who is paying it forward and actually supporting the entrepreneurs that you're gonna see on stage tonight means so much. Bill is, as an entrepreneur, you need to be an optimist. Trust me, there's a lot that goes wrong. Bill is the ultimate optimist. He's passionate. He is supportive of every individual that he comes across, and I can't say enough good things about him. I'm going to invite him up to say a few words. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the evening.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Wow. I've been in Westport for 30 years. And I have to tell you something, I'm more excited tonight than I think I've ever been in this town. This is an amazing event, and good for you guys for coming out and supporting this incredible organization. Cliff said control and agency, that's code word for jumping in the deep end, because that's what an entrepreneur does, right? You jump in the deep end, you take a shot, and you hope it all goes well. But you can't do it alone. It's really important to have a support group. And what StartUp Westport is doing is beyond belief. You know, when we started Coastal Bridge in 2008, we were entrepreneurs, as Cliff said. We started right across the river over at 33 Riverside. We left the safety and the security of the big banks, and I gotta tell you something, it was frightening. We did it right in the middle of the global financial crisis, October 17th, 2008. My buddy and partner Jim Pradhini is nodding his head right now. We had a rent, we had computers, we had no clients, and we hoped if we build it that they will come. And that's what you do when you're an entrepreneur, right? You hope and pray that they're gonna come, because at your very, very core, entrepreneurism is, it's hope, right? It's optimism. It's the expectation that I can build something that maybe can solve a problem, meet an unmet need, or build a better mousetrap. And that's what you're hoping happens. In our case, we put our head down, and we did something, and why tonight is so special for us, because we put our head down, and we actually built a business around entrepreneurs. We built a fund to invest in entrepreneurial companies, so we're investors, the same as a lot of you guys here tonight. We understand the challenges of what entrepreneurship is about and innovation is about. We built services and planning related things like that to help our entrepreneurs build their business, protect their assets, transfer wealth to their families. And when a lot of the entrepreneurs that we started with 10, 15 years ago are clients today, and they've had liquidity events, and they've amassed enormous wealth. And it's been unbelievable to watch, and there's no doubt in my mind that one of these 5 finalists, if not more, is gonna have a very similar trajectory. So it's an incredible thing. When you think about StartUp Westport for just a minute, they have a noble mission and a lofty goal. The noble mission is to enable and incite, if you will, innovation and entrepreneurism in Fairfield County. The lofty goal is to make this place Silicon on the Sound. And you know what? I think they're gonna do it. I think it's the right time, the right place, the right town to get behind this. I've never seen energy like this, passion like this to get behind something, and I believe they'll do this. I really do. You bet. So please keep on supporting them because this is something that is so vital to this community. So many good things happen when you have growth and innovation. It builds the quality of life in the community. It provides, again, hope and prosperity. It's a really good thing. And by the way, it knows no ages. We've got young people, we've got middle-aged people, we've got old people, okay, older people like me, who actually are saying to themselves, I can do that. I bet there's people out there tonight in this crowd who are saying to themselves, you know what, I've got an idea. I want, next year, I'm going in this competition. It's 77 this year. Next year, it'll be 150, I promise you. So it's an incredible thing that they're building. You know, a final word on Coastal Bridge. We built a wealth management firm that we're very, very proud of. And we built it around the client. And we did it because we're in a community that appreciates that. You have been so, so good to us. Again, we just celebrated our 17th year, and we now have what was 7 people in 1 office, is now 45 people in 4 offices with plans to grow. And, you know, I really believe we'll have a national footprint, and we'll be much larger than we are today. And it's only because of you and the other communities that we live in and serve, such as Milford, Connecticut, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Los Angeles. We are so blessed and so thankful, and we can't wait to watch the competition. Let the games begin.
That's great. Sorry. Oops. Where did I go? Whoa. That's not till later. I also want to thank, thank you. I also want to thank Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development. Dan O'Keefe is the commissioner. He's going to be here a little bit later to say some words. Thank you for DECD for their support. I also want to thank all of our sponsors, HSS with Stanford Health, Myriad 360, Manifest, Wigan, Coastal Bridge, Northeast Innovation. My old partner from Stanford Innovation Center is here somewhere, Barry Schwimmer. Thank you, Barry. The library is the most unbelievable partner we could ask for. The team here is second to none. Just incredibly talented, incredibly relaxed, incredibly funny, and great to work with. Serendipity Labs across across 33 on the Post Road is where we host a lot of our events. They're a fabulous partner as well, and the town of Westport, of course. Now we're going to run a video from HSS.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment. Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? HSS Orthopedics with Stanford Health.
Excellent. So, let's see. Right. So, oh, yeah. Back to the computer. So one of the design elements of the program is we wanted to leverage the talent of the StartUp Westport community, especially our mentorship program, which is led by the amazing Susan Fenn and Noah Fenn. Thank you, Susan and Noah. You've been such great partners this whole project. And then I also want to thank the mentors who were willing to educate our participants. So please stand up and maybe some house lights. Noah and Susan, Michael Beebe, Cal Deutsch, Deb Lundstrom, John McCarthy, Jack Souza, Vin Turk, Kira Vanderwert, and Calamine. Thank you all so much.
Now, I've mentioned him before, but we really would like to thank Dan Bickel. He was there when we were looking through all 77 applications, discussing with us who we thought should move forward. And then he joined us again at the semifinals to discuss who should move forward to the finals tonight. He worked very hard with us and was up till late that night helping us decide, so we're very grateful for his help. We'd also like to thank Dave Altman, who is the Director of Development for StartUp Westport. He actually kicked off our education initiative by presenting to the startups about how to pitch. So hopefully some of those lessons have sunk in when the startups come and pitch tonight.
Excellent. And we should mention that Kira and Cal are two of our judges. They were mentors and provided some education. They have not met with any of these startups individually, so the education was one directional, and they're not involved with any of these companies at all. So now it is time to introduce our judges. So please come to the stage and give a warm round of applause for Kira Vanderwerk from Outsiders Fund, Cal Amin from 1848 Ventures, Matt Gorin from Contour Ventures, and Cliff Serlin from Launch Capital. Excellent. And you can use the QR code right there to read more about our judges and their background, and you can also learn a little more about the startups on that page, so check that QR code out.
Now, before we kick off, let's talk a little bit about how tonight is going to work. Each startup will come up here and have 6 minutes to pitch. Followed by that, the judges will engage in questioning their pitch for 6 more minutes. After that, the next company will be up. The judges will be evaluating these startups based on certain criteria, and they've been laid out here, looking at their problem and how they've solved it, the market size of their opportunity and who the target customers are, how the revenue model and the business model will function, and what traction they've had to date, the ability of the team to execute on their great ideas, the competitive advantage that these startups have, and finally, funding and the use of funds. How are they going to use the prize winnings today? So these are all going to be the kind of thoughts that the judges are going to be having while watching the pitches today.
Excellent. All right. So now it's time to get the first company up. Can we run the music? Kira. And I'll get this computer going. Oh, can we switch? Thank you. All right. So our first presenters are an all-female team of UConn pre-med sophomores. Led by founders Suma and Neha, the team are applying their classroom knowledge to real-world, proactive patient care. The team has created a way to reduce complications during radiation therapy. Please welcome Suma and Neha from ChromaShield.
Hello? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Neha Shanavas, and this is Suma Dendi, and we are ChromaShield, reimagining radiation dermatitis. Of course, it has to give me a hard time. Where's the clicker? Is there a clicker?
You have a clicker?
Thanks, Peter. Oh. You guys are getting a preview. I want you to picture this for a second. You're a mother. You've gone through months of brutal chemotherapy, and you start radiation thinking just maybe the worst is behind you. But within 2 weeks, your skin starts to burn. It reddens, it blisters. Soon you're in so much pain you can't even lie down. When you go to your doctor, it's too late. To save your skin, they stop your treatment. Cancer waits for no one, and now your life-saving treatment has been delayed. Why? Because there was no early warning system. She's not alone. Every year, over 7 million radiation patients face the same. Over 95% develop radiation dermatitis, and over 30% have their treatment interrupted. And we spent $4.2 billion annually trying to fix damages that could have been prevented. The problem goes far beyond radiation dermatitis. Across medicine, hidden inflammation drives some of the most serious and costly complications because clinicians can't treat what they can't see. Take diabetic foot ulcers, for example. It's one of the fastest growing causes of hospitalizations worldwide, and in most cases leads to serious pain and infection, but in some of the most worst case scenarios, it requires amputation. The challenge is the same across pressure ulcers and post-operative care. Because current monitoring is so inefficient, clinicians aren't noticing issues before it's too late. That's why we created ChromaShield, a smart thermochromic patch that detects inflammation before it's visible. We are the first universal wearable patch and monitoring platform designed to transform predictive care and prevent inflammatory injuries across multiple conditions. Think of it like a heat map for inflammation. The patch changes color as the skin heats up, while our built-in thermometer tracks temperature across real time, alerting both patients and providers 48 to 72 hours before symptoms appear for radiation dermatitis and multiple weeks ahead for diabetic foot ulcers. Our system supports both Bluetooth and NFC-based automatic temperature logging, allowing for hands-free data collection and upload. For the patient, they simply put the patch on their treatment site, and they can see color changes instantly on the patch as their temperature rises, and the mobile app sends them alerts if inflammation is detected, offering them peace of mind and control. Meanwhile, the provider sees the same data in real time. ChromaShield's dashboard is integrated seamlessly into the electronic health records so that data can flow automatically into existing clinical systems. Additionally, when the system sees a trend of inflammation, it's instantly flagged so providers can step in before symptoms escalates. This bridges the gap between in-home and clinical monitoring. In the real world, this means faster clinical detection, more patients completing their treatment, fewer complication-related costs, and greater monitoring frequency.
When we look at the competitive landscape, ChromaShield stands alone. Traditional monitoring often relies on subjective
Sorry, guys.
on subjective visual assessment, meaning delayed and inconsistent tracking. Wearable thermometers not only lack our thermochromic layer, but also don't collect data specific to inflammation, so they can't predict disease progression like we do. Topicals for radiation dermatitis don't address or reverse deep-rooted inflammation, and diabetic foot monitoring solutions like the Podometric Smart Map are limited to one type of injury and aren't as interactive or empowering for the patient as we aim to be. So ChromaShield is affordable, objective, patient-centered, data-driven, and comfortable. So we don't just monitor better, we predict, enabling smarter treatment timelines and research integration. Ooh. The clicker. Thank you. So our technology is positioned in multi-billion-dollar markets with the potential to transform lives. These represent over $15 billion and are growing at 17% annually. Our go-to-market strategy is hybrid. We're starting with podiatry, and we'll continue our B2B model with radiation homes, nursing centers, and hospitals. And after this stage, we'll reach patients directly through e-commerce and retail platforms like CVS, Amazon, and Walgreens. And we'll be scaling through regulatory approvals, and we'll start with the FDA Class 1 510K exemption pathway. Our team is made up of a multidisciplinary group of UConn sophomores. Most of us met in the special program in medicine and dental medicine, where we're becoming skilled and compassionate physician innovators. We're collaborating with radiation oncologists, podiatrists, and nurses from UConn Health, Yale, and Griffin Hospital, and we've received mentorship from StartUp Westport and from UConn resources like CCEI. So far, we've gained over $15,000 in non-dilutive funding and traction through wins at the Yukon entrepreneurial ecosystem and the NSF I-Corps program. We filed a provisional patent. We're finalizing our early prototypes so that we can begin studies on patients with diabetic foot ulcers at Yale New Haven Health. At ChromaShield, we're not just building a product, we're building the future of predictive care because every patient deserves more than guesswork. They deserve proactive care. They deserve ChromaShield. Thank you, and we're happy to take questions. I actually have a few demo patches. So they have adhesive layer on the back off to get the thermal effect.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
the adhesive layer can be peeled back.
Cool.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Well, great presentation. Two questions. One easy one. They're both easy, but one simple one. Can you describe the regulatory process, clinical trials, and anything else that you have to get through from a regulatory perspective? And are you thinking about doing this full-time now because you're all sophomores in college?
Of course. So we would be eligible for the Class 1 510K exemption pathway in terms of regulatory things. Because we are a diagnostic patch, we are not very therapeutic, or it's not an implantable device, so it's considered low risk. So we would go through the Class 1 exemption pathway, which is less money. And we do hope to, we as a team, there's 6 of us, and we're all actually students. So in the future, we hope to go full time, but now we're doing our best managing this with our Orgo exams.
That's great.
I agree with Matt. Great presentation. Quick question. Have you thought about your go-to-market strategy? So how would you actually take this to market? Obviously, in the medical space, there's all sorts of partnerships. So is this something that you're going to develop and then sell or partner or develop your own team that will actually take the product to market?
Yeah, so we're looking to partner with hospitals starting near us. So we're getting clinical use started, hopefully at Yale New Haven Health with podiatry, and we'll expand from there to radiation centers. But that's like dual-fold. It's getting our clinical validation. It's also building partnerships. As we hope to have a business model where we can sell patches, especially for radiation dermatitis, in boxes of 6. So that lasts 1 patch because we are reusable, we're washable, so 1 per week. And we're also hoping to have boxes in hospitals, in doctors' offices, where just like Band-Aids or sterile Q-tips, like they can have boxes of these to hand out to patients. Eventually, we also want to be able to reach patients because empowering patients is also a big part of what we're doing. So we want to be able to sell directly to patients as well.
Great. That's great. Great presentation. My question focuses on the technical risk. So as you think about taking the prototype to mass production, what do you see as potential risks for both the patch as well as the app?
So we are aware that with our patch, one of our most major concerns is patient compliance. So all throughout the process, of course, we are a patient-centered product. As we're looking at production, we know that med device is a very heavily regulated space. That kind of feeds into the previous question that we were asked about FDA compliance as well. So the best answer that we can give is that we do have connections within the existing med device space that are really valuable for us as we're thinking about things like production. Of course, even with going to trial in the FDA at a small scale, we have to think about things like creating a sterile product. And that's not something that we necessarily know a lot about, but we do know people who know a lot about it. So we're currently in the process of thinking about early stage production. And as we grow, we plan on having that production grow with us. But really creating a product that's sterile, creating a product that's comfortable, and creating a product that's safe are our 3 top priorities.
Love the presentation. Clearly, you're solving a really important problem, so that's great. My question is really about the economics. What do you expect to be able to make the patch for, and what do you think you can sell it for?
Yeah, so with current materials, we're looking at around $6 for our prototype without the temperature sensor. So with that, we're looking at like $8 a patch. So since we mentioned for radiation dermatitis, like a 6-piece box, hopefully $60, but we really want this to be covered by insurance. And with the clinicians we're speaking to, because there's a need for this product, there's nothing similar in terms of early detection for radiation dermatitis, and because it prevents costs in the long run, we're looking into getting it covered by insurance.
And sorry, you said you were selling the box for 60, or that was what you thought you could sell?
For $6 per patient.
Yep.
So, but when we're looking at partnerships with like doctors, the hospitals, we would want boxes of just like more of a bulk order.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Excellent work.
Just going to use that timer.
All right. Excellent job. Excellent job. I get to be the tech support. And we...
Sophomores impressive. 1 year older than Zach. 1 year older than Zach.
I know.
Oh.
I can hear you.
All righty.
Good thing it's all positive.
All righty. So Denzel Luna played D1 basketball for University of Bridgeport just as the name, image, and likeness era began. When Denzel heard the college athletes could now earn money via NIL agreements, he immediately saw an opportunity. Drawing on his accounting skills and his combined understanding for what it's like to be a college athlete, he founded Nexatax to support the financial well-being of NIL players. So welcome Denzel Luna and Nexatax.
Hello, hello. How's it going? You guys hear me? Yeah. All right. Let's get it started. How's it going? My name is Denzel Luna. I'm the founder and CEO of Nexatax. We're the first tax platform specifically built for college athletes. Now, our mission is simple. Let me go back. Simplify taxes for student athletes. Now, in 2021, the NCAA released a new policy that now allows college athletes to get paid based off their name, image, and likeness. Now, while this is a great opportunity for these athletes, it also presents unique tax complexities that many of these athletes are not equipped to handle. You see, these athletes are now referred to as businesses. So they're responsible for things like tax withholdings, quarterly tax payments, and tax deductions. Imagine an 18-year-old dealing with that. So now this market was booming since it first started. In 2021, it was worth around $917 million. And just this year, it's expected to do over $2.5 billion. Yet there's one critical gap: tax compliance. What's affecting 150,000 athletes annually. 85% of the athletes making NIL are unaware of NIL's tax impact. 35% of these athletes fail to save for their taxes. And if you're an international athlete, you face your own unique tax complexities being from another country. What's out right now are two primary platforms. The first is Scout, an early stage platform focused primarily on investing. Now, their tax features are fairly limited and excludes groups like international athletes. The second is QuickBooks. Now, this is a generalized platform. It doesn't really tailor exactly to what athletes need, and it makes it hard for them to digest and use it year-round. Now, this is where Nexa comes in. We fill a critical gap. From the moment the athlete gets paid to the moment they have to file their taxes, Nexa is with them every step of the way. Now, rather than tell you more, here's Nexa in action. Now that you've seen Nexa in action, here's our game plan on how we're building the future of athlete taxation. We already have athletes filing their quarterly tax payments in-app. So currently, we track athletes' expenses, categorize transactions. We calculate their federal and quarterly tax payments. They can also pay their quarterly tax payments in the app. And then we educate athletes on tax basics with digestible content. But what's coming is what we're really excited about. Our first is our in-app filing. We'll be partnering with a national tax firm for state and federal filing. We'll be automating bookkeeping with a conversational AI, and lastly, detecting potential tax deductions. We'll be integrating with PLED using recent bank transactions to find potential tax deductions that they can write off come tax time. Now, this truly transforms Nexa from a tax preparation app to a one-stop shop for college athletes. But what makes this different? Nexa is built by athletes for athletes. With current athletes on the team making NIL, former college athletes such as myself, an experienced tech and marketing team, advisors including NBA player CJ Watson, CPAs, assistant athletic directors, and exited entrepreneurs. One of the other differentiation factors is our athlete-led marketing. We believe in athletes onboarding athletes. Not only is this cost-effective, but it's also authentic, showing athletes that we're not here looking from the outside in, but that we've been in their shoes before, building a solution for them. Where are we today? Nexa launched on the App Store on May 19th. We have over 300 athletes on board. 20 of these athletes make over 6 figures. We've been able to partner with 7 NIL agencies and onboarding sessions with schools like Wake Forest University and University of Nevada, SAC. Athletes on board range from teams like UCLA women's basketball to UConn football. Active conversations with over 5 Division I programs for onboarding sessions, and partnership interests with Army Tax and Pro Sport Accountants, which is a division under Carr-Hingham Briggs, 2 top 25 tax firms. How do we make money? Our individual subscription model is our primary revenue engine. The key here is it's tiered. So an athlete making a couple $100s doesn't need the same features than an athlete making 6 to 7 figures. Additional revenue streams include our in-app tax filing, our third-party financial services, our university and agency onboarding fees, and lastly, our alumni tier. So an athlete who loves using Nexa for 3 to 4 years can use it well beyond their college career. Now, our monthly revenue projection directly is attributable and directly correlates with our business model, starting from where we're at today at 300 users and scaling all the way up to being at 1.7 million ARR. Now, this is just 3.3% of the total attainable market of what Nexa is building. Now, what will directly contribute to this trajectory is this $20,000 prize allocation. We'll be allocating $10,000 to our team and intern compensation. $2,500 will be allocated to our development setup to really expedite the Nexa 2.0 process. $2,500 will be allocated to our traveling budget, so traveling to universities and conferences, and $5,000 will be allocated to our marketing budget, so partnering with high-profile athletes and boosting our current posts. Now, this all feeds into our larger round where we're currently raising a $500,000 pre-seed round to launch Nexa 2.0, partner with 10 universities, and get 1,250 paid athletes. Now, these milestones prove that Nexa's business model is sustainable, but also that we're built to scale nationwide. Here at Nexa, we're not just building another tax app. We're setting the standard for athlete taxation. Thank you.
Wow. Denzel, that was an excellent presentation, first and foremost. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, no doubt the entire college landscape is changing with NIL. How do you create and communicate and educate the athletes in this space to understand the product and the service that you're bringing to market? And also, like, how do you start to take what's already been built and all the partnerships you've created to expand the opportunity across universities? Is it athlete by athlete? Is it sport by sport? Is it at the university level? Can you walk us through your go-to-market?
Yeah, exactly. So we get that question a lot, and the phrase built by athletes for athletes isn't just a cool saying, it's really how we do it, especially being a small startup. So what there is right now is called SAC, Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Now think student body government, but for athletes. Now this is university-wide, conference-wide, and scales up to nationwide. 2 of our interns is the Wake Forest SAC president and the University SAC president of Nevada, but they're also the ACC rep and the Big Mountain West Conference rep, and they represent NCAA at the Division I level. We can really crack in through being former college athletes, such as myself, and them vetting with, connecting with different universities, and that has been the focal point on all our meetings with universities has been through those athletes and really talking to them and walking them through, hey, how are you dealing with taxes? Asking these questions that many of the universities aren't really asking these athletes, or they're just assuming they know. And so starting from right there with the athlete has gotten us the meetings where we get to meeting with the AD of compliance, the AD of the big decision makers on who we really would partner with.
Got it. And is there just a follow-on question? Is there almost like a word of mouth opportunity here, right? Given the fact that athletes are using the product today, how do you leverage that to create more opportunities and really create that word of mouth opportunity for athletes?
Yeah, I think for us, as big as the college landscape may seem, it's really a small world in terms of these athletic departments, and they know, frankly, a lot of universities. What we've seen is with multiple universities and multiple athletes vetting for us, saying that this tool has really helped us. We think tax time is really going to help us, showing that, hey, athletes been using it the previous year. This has made taxes simple. It really builds the bridges to, oh, hey, I know 5 other universities. I used to work at X other university, and has really even gotten us more intros to really, expanding partnerships.
Yeah, good presentation. How do you think about the market size in terms of the number, not dollars, just the number of people who would opt into this, athletes? Because I imagine you're dealing with college kids, right? And if you're making a lot of money on it with through NIL dollars, I get it. You're gonna think about this. This is gonna be top of mind. But I imagine a good long tail of the industry is making a few $100s, a few thousand, and will they file taxes? Will they be diligent about putting their expenses in? Like, how do you think about what the true addressable market is for
You're exactly right. I think, obviously, when you think of NIL, the top 1% are big earners, and they normally have their own financial team. The key here is being a self-employment tax state. This is all 1099 income. The threshold is over $400, you have to file your taxes and pay self-employment tax, and over $7,100, you have to pay quarterly tax payments. We've come to around a number of 40,000 athletes that have above $7,100, and we're really focusing on the mid-major, low Power 4 Division I schools. Obviously, the Alabama football stars may have their team, but we focus on the football players making anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 range, which is often the majority, and how do we break in with them? And oftentimes, those athletes end up being the big 6 to 7 figure star later on. And so it's building those relationships early on and focusing on that market size rather than shooting for the stars and trying to get all the 5 stars, because we obviously know big income means you probably have a team, and so focusing on in that range.
Thanks. So have you engaged the agent community in the discussions about this type of option? So it seems like there's bifurcation, right? There's like the superstars that are, the Alabama quarterback who's making probably $5 million a year, and then there's the tennis star at University of Virginia who's probably making $25,000 a year. As you mentioned, one of the $5 million athlete's going to have a team around them, but somewhere in the middle there's some type of agent community. How's their response been to this offering?
Yeah, it's honestly been great, to the point where we've seen when we first launched agencies reaching out saying, hey, we need a tax solution. Granted, these are smaller agencies with 25 to 30 athletes, but this has been a new thing. People opening NIL agencies, marketing, vetting for players. It's such a new landscape. There's really no regulation. And so really kind of conforming to, hey, what are your needs as an agency? What are you seeing and what are you offering? And we look at this as a plus on this makes your agency more advantageous. Hey, we offer tax help. We offer year-round bookkeeping, and just kind of conforming our pitch to them as this is a solution that you need and what's going to beat you across the big landscape of NIL agencies. Yeah.
Awesome.
Given the the kind of smaller market that I think we've all been kind of talking about, how do you think about the evolution of the product and any other tangential sort of self-employed markets that you could tap into?
Yeah, so for a lot of the alumni and for a lot of the other people, our features are universal across other industries. So, for example, past college athletes, we can use these integrations to individual business owners, small business owners, any college student at all. So as we grow and as we develop, we're always focusing on alumni, we're focusing on other markets to tap, because this is just the market that has the biggest problem now, but that doesn't mean other people are not having it either.
Great.
And can you go through what was your ARR projection again, just with the current customer base?
Right now, we're pre-revenue right now, so we're starting at 300 users right now, being at 1,250 paid users by the end of next year, 2026, 2,500 paid users by the end of 2027, and 5,000 paid users by the end of 2028. Now, we look at this as a 70-20-10 percentage, so most of this is the basic tier. So we're looking at athletes from an income range of $5,000 to $10,000, and then that 10% is obviously the higher end athletes. What we're really focusing on is how do we get them early? So we really cater to the freshmen, to the sophomores, making around that range, and then kind of scaling from there.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, guys, we're about to shift gears here. Where are my ladies at? This one is for you. Let me introduce you to Clémence and Emile, two Cornell grads tackling breast cancer prevention in the US, Europe, and Africa. Their company is called Mirabel Medical, and their goal is to make breast health more accessible, convenient, and most importantly, give women empowerment in their own wellness. Clémence and Emile, come on up.
I wish you guys had played Baby Shark for me. It would have just a little bit friendlier. Anyways, I'll start off, and Emile, my co-founder, will join me for a Q&A. So 2 years ago, I actually woke up in my New York City apartment and found a big lump on my upper chest. Thought, oh my God, do I have cancer? A lot of women in my family have had breast cancer, and that moment is pretty terrifying. So I went to the doctor, he checked it out and told me, well, just keep an eye on it, and if it grows, give us a call. How was I supposed to be objective about my lump's potential growth? This has happened to me, but has also happened to, unfortunately, millions of women, and we have a very simple solution that can help change that. The US Preventative Task Force in the US recommends that women, on average, get a mammogram every 2 years. And in between, you're told to be breast aware. I don't want to scare you, but a tumor can actually double in size in just 41 days. So how many of you ladies out here tonight actually check your breasts every month? One. I always get one. Go you. But for everybody else, it's not your fault. It's tough to remember, and you just don't have a Mirabel. In sub-Saharan Africa, up to 90% of breast cancer incidences are caught at stage 3 or 4, and that's often too late to save a life. So that's why we've built Mirabel Medical. Mirabel is the very first at-home tool for women to check their boobs in between mammograms, and Miroscope is the cheapest breast cancer screening tool in the world. Both products share the same core technology and each target 2 different markets. So let's look at the opportunity behind the markets. Please note my cute boobs. It's PowerPoint, you know, so you gotta spice it up. In the US, billions is being spent on like fitness, supplements, skincare, you name it. But what about breast care? What if you could turn it from like medical chore into something that's fun and sexy? Part of the wellness girl aesthetic, like checking your tatas. That's our opportunity. In Africa, unfortunately, more than 80 million women have never been screened for breast cancer before. Do you imagine? And our core technology can change that. So our provisional patented elastomeric lens, the soft squishy bit, and I'm gonna show you how it works. So what do I press? Next. Beautiful. So that's our prototype for Mirabel. We're gonna press it up against a lump, and you're just very easily able to see the deformation on top. And you can even see the texture. Now we're gonna put it on a medical grade boob that actually doctors train on. So you apply it nice and directly against the breast, and if there is a lump, you're able to visually see it. Like voila. Very simple. And we're gonna press again the top big lump, and then we do it against the nipple. And it's good, it doesn't show your nipple. That would be bad. So Mirabel is a wellness tool, and it actually comes with an app to remind you to check your breast based on your monthly cycle. Based off of our product feedback sessions, 92% of women said they'd love to buy this, and most importantly, it clinically works. So we've had 11 healthcare professionals test out Mirabel, and they could all clearly see the firmness differences. And let's zoom in on Quinn here. So she's a midwife in New Haven, was super excited and comfortable using the device, so she tried it on, and she could actually see her own cyst with it. The sister product, Miroscope, is the cheapest breast cancer screening tool in the world because it only cost us $8 a piece to make. A year ago, we actually went to Ghana, and we tested it out with a midwife and a local not-for-profit, and the midwife wanted to keep the device. That's how impactful it was. So what else exists out there? Well, tools that are very expensive, or your hands, if you're a woman, and that's only 20% effective when you check your own breasts. And for Miroscope, when you do a clinical breast exam, it's only 56% effective. So this past year, we've gone from, sorry, you take a breath. We've gone from having an idea to launching our pre-orders. We've created prototypes, secured a provisional patent, started working with a doctor at Yale, and have secured our manufacturing. We have a dual go-to-market strategy where Mirabelle is going to be sold directly to consumers, and Miroscope is going to be sold directly to healthcare, ministries, and large not-for-profits. In the past 3.5 weeks of our pre-orders, we've had 36.5 thousand views on our Instagram, and have been pre-selected by the state of Connecticut to actually manufacture our Mirabelles locally, which is sustainable. What our business model looks like, it actually is reflective of our go-to-market strategy, where thanks to Mirabelle's early cash flows, we're able to develop Miroscope's developments. And so you're not just checking your boobs, you're actually helping multiply the magic and help someone else, check hers. So with $20,000, we'd be able to launch our medical trial in Ghana and kickstart our manufacturing locally in Connecticut. That's part of a wider $600,000 pre-seed raise for 2026. And so far, we've only spent $3.5 thousand in Mirabelle Medical. So this is what Bootstrapped looks like. At home, we build it, thanks to Emil, the smart engineer. And we've been focused on building out our community. So whether it's with the Susan Komen Foundation, having in-person booths, or pitching at Harvard Business School. I'm Boobs in Business. We have the smart engineer, and we're joined by, obviously, medical expertise at Yale, along with industry veterans. So please help us save lives, 2 boobs at a time.
Great presentation, no doubt. Incredibly important problem that you're solving, and seems like a very simple way to do it, which is great. My question is just really initially on the regulatory front. Do you need FDA approval to sell it in the US?
Great question. So for the wellness device, no. And we don't make any claims around like the types of tumors and things like that. The whole narrative is really just like checking your breasts more often. That's the important piece. For Miroscopes, we're obviously going to be doing an FDA classification 2 based off 510K, and the predicate is eye breast exam.
Okay. And can you also talk about, you're selling a physical device. Can you just talk about the evolution of the development of the device and what type of feedback you've taken from people who've used it, and how have you incorporated that into the product today?
Do you want to go?
Yeah, of course. So anybody's welcome to come to our booth and try it.
And keep giving us feedback. We love that. We have this thing called the Titty Committee. So if you want to join, please join and come give us feedback.
Yeah. I love that it's glittery. That's very fun.
So you're perfect. Keep going. That's usually the first feedback we get when we do these. The second one is like, oh, so how do you do it? From the bottom or the top? And we say, no, you press from the bottom, the soft, squishy bit. Yeah, keep going.
No, yeah, and in terms of feedback, so in our field test in Ghana, we were collecting pain data. So no women experienced any pain while they were being examined. And we're continuously collecting more feedback. That's okay.
Great. And then you mentioned your plans to be able to manufacture it in Connecticut. Just what's the difficulty of manufacturing it, and in what parts of the design have you simplified the manufacturing process to make it so affordable?
Yeah, so it's super simple because it's purely mechanical. There's no electronics. So that's really the difficulty, manufacturing anything in the US when you have circuit boards and optical cameras and stuff. In Connecticut is actually great for injection molding. It's one of the centers of injection molding in the US, and that's the primary technology that we're going to be using to scale up our manufacturing while keeping costs radically low.
And we've actually went and visited them a few weeks ago and, you know, checked out all the molds and stuff. I don't know, it's a fun part of building a product.
Yeah, great presentation. Two questions, related questions. Is the product primarily meant to find a lump, or is it to monitor a lump that you already found as it grows? And is there any risk in that if you know how to do a self-exam really well, that if you use your product, you might not pick something up on Mirabelle that you would pick up on your self-exam because it's your finger and your hand?
Do you want to take that?
Absolutely, I'll take that. First of all, if you're really good at doing a breast self-exam, that's amazing. From all the customer discoveries we've done, unfortunately, the people who are really good at that are people who have had breast cancer. So, fortunately, that's not that many people, but that's still a lot of people. If you're very good at doing it with your hands, I think this is a great tool to remind you to do it. One of the big issues that women don't do it, as you kind of saw. And then you had a second part of your question. How? Is
it more to find a lump, or is it to monitor a lump over time?
Both.
As it grows?
Perfect, sorry. Both. It's to help you find a lump, and if you have a lump, and like in my case, then you're able to see if it's a cyst and if it can shrink. So I've used it on myself to do that based off my period cycle.
But if you find a lump using Mirabelle, you should just run to your doctor and get it checked out with a mammogram. But then if they tell you it's benign, keep an eye on it, then it's a great opportunity for us to help you measure that.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, great presentation. My question actually is about economics, and you said that it costs only $8 to produce one of these devices. Is that right? That is incredibly low. How are you thinking about your pricing strategy? And given that it sounds like you don't have any formal competition in the marketplace, it seems like that's a unique economic opportunity for you.
Well, I'll answer the vision and he'll answer the economics. On a vision, I wanted to actually make it accessible for women to check their boobs everywhere. And so whether you're living in a shady part of New Haven or Westport, right? It's important for everybody to actually be able to do that. So it's amazing when you have access to mammography and you're able to get that check every year or every 2 years. But a lot of women, right, like don't have health insurance and they aren't able to do that. So I actually cared about that you could buy this at CVS with or without health insurance, and doesn't matter, and it's pretty cheap. And then I'll let you get into the unit economics of the product.
Yeah, so $8 is how we're currently making our prototypes right now for the mirror scope. So that's the version for developing markets. The unit economics for Mirabelle is $12 for manufacturing. And it's that low because it's only 4 parts. The complexity comes from material selection and the actual design work, and that's all patented. The manufacturing is rather simple. That's all injection molded and cast, so very cheap, scalable processes.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, one thing that you guys might want to think about with your go-to-market strategy and as you're marketing and promoting this is look at a company like Bombas socks, where when they were actually launching, they would, if you bought a pair of socks, they would donate a pair of socks. And if your economics are as attractive as they appear to be, that could be a unique marketing strategy for you.
That's totally what we're going for. I'm not pitching it yet. I'm saying, like, you're helping us support Miroscope's development because the first thing I want to do is the clinical trial, but that's totally what we're going to be doing.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thanks.
Have you guys ever met someone who just oozes swag? No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about our next two founders, Wally and Kyle. They're supercar enthusiasts who met at UConn. They took their passion for finding the perfect wheels into a marketplace for like-minded car enthusiasts. Their instincts were right, and they've mobilized a passionate community that shares about cool car gear in person and online. Let's hear from Wally and Kyle now.
All right, so I have had a lifelong obsession with cars, and really more specifically, wheels. You see, wheels are like the proverbial sneaker on a vehicle, providing both a performance and an aesthetic benefit unlike any other part. And so after I got the car of my dreams, a classic BMW, I did what enthusiasts do first. I went to go modify it and make it my own. And I had my eyes on a new set of wheels. The only downside with wheels is they're extremely costly, and they can range upwards of $10,000 for a new set. And that was more than I could afford as a cash-strapped college student. And so I turned to the car community, asking where to find an affordable used set. It's where I ran into a classmate of mine who not only had the same exact car as me, but he also had the same exact problem in trying to find an affordable set of wheels. And so together we hit the internet in search, but quickly ended up looking a lot like this. So we were forced to use classified platforms that were never designed for us, let alone competing for the hard-earned dollars of car enthusiasts. And I can assure you, this problem is significantly larger than just 2 college students. Each year, over 67 million enthusiasts in the US are left platformless. And this results in 3 core problems. So the first is if you've ever used Facebook Marketplace, you'll know it'll restrict your search criteria to nearby neighborhoods and local areas. Second, they're completely unmoderated, which has been a ripe haven for scammers and misrepresented products. And lastly, wheels fit a lot like a well-tailored suit or dress, with compatibility coming down to fractions of a millimeter. And none of these platforms let you know if the wheels are compatible. And I find it interesting because as you look at equally obsessed subcultures, like sneakerheads or watch collectors, there's a multitude of platforms that allow them to buy and sell the used products they love. But car enthusiasts looking for wheels had nothing. Good evening, my name is Kyle Mayers. I'm co-founder and CEO, and that classmate of mine is Wally Nemain, co-founder and chief product officer. And together, we've built a first of its, you can clap. So we've built the first of its kind platform enabling car enthusiasts a safe and convenient way to buy used wheels. Our platform is straightforward, so we've broken down those geographic barriers, enabling global supply to flood into our marketplace. We've also ensured that trust is really at the core of our platform by building in a reputation system. And lastly, we've built the industry's first ever and recognized AI fitment assistant, taking all of the friction out of compatibility out and enabling enthusiasts to find wheels that fit in seconds. So we operate as a 2-sided marketplace with a 10% take rate. With an AOV, or average order value, of $2,500, that means we collect $250 for every wheel sold. And it's really interesting because it's starting to work. We're early stage, we haven't even focused or prioritized on revenue, but we're seeing early indicators of product market fit. And I'm proud to announce today that through our time here at StartUp Westport, we hit 2 key milestones, crossing over 3,000 wheels listed from enthusiasts around the world, and just last week hitting 55,000 mobile app downloads. And I understand this problem might seem like a small opportunity, but on Facebook Marketplace alone, there are over 620,000 wheels listed chaotically. And each year, industry reports show that enthusiasts spend upwards of $5 billion on this one product category. But we're looking to expand outside of this, using wheels as a wedge, and we hope to expand into additional categories like engine parts, audio equipment, and interior pieces, unlocking a $100 billion opportunity. And we're gonna get there with a community-first approach. So as an early stage company, we hit social media, publicizing our customer discovery, and we went completely viral in a grassroots way. And because of the mentorship here in Westport, we were actually able to generate revenue, through brand partnership deals, showcasing products and services from companies that already resonate with our community. In addition to online, we're also focusing on in-person events by hosting thousands of attendees around the US. And instead of monetizing these in-person events, we've taken a charitable approach by raising money for foundations through toys, cash donations, and back-to-school drives, Happy to announce that also we raised $10,000 at our last event for Piston Foundation, which will go to scholarships for students pursuing careers in automotive. Now, none of this would be possible without a stellar team. As mentioned, Wally Nemain has worked for Fortune 50 companies building and shipping products globally. And Kirk Vanderhayden is our secret weapon on social media, building campaigns for notable automotive companies. And I've built a career in cybersecurity at large financial institutions and really understand the importance of online safety. And I'm one of the youngest board members on the African American Automotive Association. In addition, we're backed by a stellar group of mentors and advisors from very relevant companies. So we really focused our strategy on prioritizing our product first, then community second, and now we're able and looking forward to entering our third stage, which is scaling revenue. And so if we were fortunate enough to receive the funds from tonight's competition, we would tackle two major problems plaguing our marketplace. The first is off-platform transactions, which sounds like a bad problem, but for marketplaces, it's great. What's happening is buyers and sellers are meeting on our platform and then transacting off of it. So we're not capturing a transaction fee, but we're still getting some liquidity. Second, we want to deploy AI agents to automatically drop ship prepackaged materials for the wheels. So when a seller completes a sale on our platform, they'll automatically receive prepackaged boxes for the wheels, one of the hardest parts of selling wheels. So to wrap up, our team is poised to tackle this marketplace. The enthusiasts have shown a lot of signal and interest in our platform. We just need a little bit more gas in our tank to get there. So if you're interested in cars, in commerce, or community, I really welcome you into helping us in reinventing the wheel marketplace. Thank you.
Great presentation, love it. How did you arrive, because you're creating a two-sided marketplace, how did you arrive at the take rate, and have you kind of beta tested that? It strikes me as you probably have an opportunity to expand that. I don't know if the initial approach is to kind of make it more moderate so you can draw people onto the platform, but how do you think about that?
Yeah, so initially when we launched, the transaction fee was actually 0%. And so we definitely did a lot of benchmarking in terms of best practices from other marketplaces, both automotive and just kind of broad. I think we analyzed a little over 25, everything from Pokemon card marketplaces to used music equipment, and we averaged it down to the 7% from the seller, 3% seemed to be a decent benchmark. And when we rolled this out, we were fearful that our community would kind of raise pitchforks, why are you going to start monetizing this? But they embraced it, and we rolled out a number of value adds with it. So.
And have you gotten any pushback?
Pardon me?
Have you gotten any pushback?
But no, maybe a few comments. With the scale we're at on social media, you always have people saying negative things, but for the most part, it's been positive.
Okay, great.
Great presentation. I love marketplace businesses. I think at scale, the economics are really attractive. I guess the success factor is getting that critical mass on the platform. So besides the social media that you've done, that's clearly yielded some results. Do you have bigger plans for your go-to-market and marketing to both buyers and sellers on both sides?
Yep. So, any marketer will know there's a big difference between awareness marketing and then sales and conversion. And admittedly, we focused on awareness first, just to kind of try to get critical mass without burning an immense amount of resources. In terms of hitting that kind of flywheel effect, we've experimented with auctions. So right now, we operate as a traditional static marketplace. We did, I think, about 15 used wheels on our auction, and it's a really exciting, dynamic addition to the marketplace. We saw a lot more bids. It's a time-based sale. And so I think we'll continue down that path and experimenting more with auctions.
That's great. And it sounds like you have plans to expand beyond just wheels, but how, just in terms of the velocity, how often are your ideal customers buying wheels?
Yeah.
And is that going to be a near-term limitation for you?
Yeah, so wheels, I mentioned they're a lot like sneakers, but really any other fashion accessory, they come in and out of style for different groups of people. So in terms of velocity or like repeatability on our platform, we're seeing a slight pattern emerge where wheels will get listed on the platform, they'll sell, and then about 9 months later, we'll see them return back for a second sale. And so we're hoping to see that pattern continue, especially as we look to expand out into additional product categories.
That's great. Just one more question, and I do agree with Cliff. I think there's room to expand on your take rate at the 10%. So I do agree with that from what we've seen. In terms of the liquidity on the platform. The units that have sold, what has been the average listing period?
Yeah, so average listing period, I'd say about a month and a half to 2 months.
Okay.
We haven't been able to dig through all of the off-platform transactions just because there's thousands of messages. But that 1.5 to 2 months seems to be the average time that a wheel will sit. Before wheel price and on like Facebook Marketplace, forums, we were seeing about a 90-day average for comparison.
Okay, that's great.
I have a question on the, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right, there we go. Great presentation. Similarly, I guess like on the off-platform transactions, you mentioned that you're leveraging AI and AI agents to help with that. Can you walk us through exactly how that's going to work on the platform?
Yeah, sure. So Wally's already created the architecture for this. We're going to leverage things like NAN for a workflow. So it's going to conduct some sentiment analysis, essentially just looking at private messages of buyers and sellers, 24/7, 365. If it detects personalized contact info, like a cell phone or email address, it's going to delete the message and then throw in a kind reminder, encouraging them to conduct the transaction online, much like an Airbnb or any other at-scale marketplace.
Got it. And how do you take insights from like a StockX or a Chrono, where this is, I'm sure, happening on those platforms as well? So as you think about how those platforms have scaled and those marketplaces are growing, are there key insights that you can bring into your platform to help support on-platform tracks?
I mean, we're following StockX's blueprint to a T as best we can. They focused primarily on Nike Jordans, not even any sneaker, but just one category. And so we're looking at a parallel in automotive with wheels. Now, if you go to StockX, you can buy everything from a PlayStation 5 to a graphics card and everything in between. So we look at trying to become the burning hot core of automotive enthusiasts buying wheels. And then as we see traction, we'll scale out into other categories.
Yeah, StockX is a good benchmark for you for sure. But people will buy hundreds of sneakers, right, on StockX and keep them, right? Sneaker enthusiasts. Like, how do car enthusiasts or wheel enthusiasts view just hoarding wheels? Do they hoard them, or do they have one on their car and they get bored of it and they buy another?
Yeah, I mean,
that's going to impact your business a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. For perspective, I mean, that's a small collection of what my founding team has over there in the corner. But yeah, we see enthusiasts buy wheels not even to ever mount on their car. Sometimes it's just a provenance piece. They might buy an old Formula One wheel from the 80s and they put it in their living room. And I know it sounds bizarre. It's not really the most appealing decor to most, but yeah, we're seeing people just buy them, not even for cars, but more aesthetic purposes and general collectability.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is anyone feeling a little peckish? You know that you've been good all day, you've eaten your kale, you've had your matcha, your 30 grams of protein, and then 10 p.m. hits and you want a snack, but you want to stay healthy. Well, our next founders have just the solution. Adam and Emma, two entrepreneurs hailing from the Yale School of Management and the Yale School of Environment, are here with the solution. They realized they could leverage Adam's skills in cultivating mushrooms to solve a problem in the snack market, and also stoke their combined passion in sustainable and circular food solutions. Introducing Neuropuffs.
Each year, the world throws away over 1 billion tons of food waste.
And meanwhile, people are spending billions of dollars trying to eat healthier and increase their energy naturally.
We found a way to solve both problems with one product.
And that's Neuropuffs. It's a cheesy and crunchy snack made of whole cordyceps mushrooms grown on upcycled food waste.
I'm Adam, and I've been growing mushrooms since I was a kid in Oregon, and I used to do research on fungal genetics. After college, I joined the Peace Corps in Zambia, where I helped communities grow oyster mushrooms on agricultural waste to fight food insecurity. Now I'm studying environmental solutions at Yale.
And I'm Emma. I'm from Trumbull, Connecticut, and my background is in sustainable business. I most recently led the market research team of a national climate firm and also built a global nature-based solutions nonprofit. Now I'm a business student at Yale studying food systems and circularity.
NeuroPuff's journey begins almost exactly a year ago when I found myself on an airplane next to Emma, headed to the Dominican Republic, where we were going to work with coffee farmers on a USAID project. We realized that we work really well together, and when we got back to Yale, we kept coming back to this idea of turning farm byproducts into something that people actually want to eat. That came straight out of seeing how much waste farmers in the DR are dealing with and how they really need additional pathways for generating income.
Can I be honest? Most of the snacks out there aren't something that I actually want to eat. Even better for you snacks are full of preservatives and empty calories, and even worse, they're contributing to the destruction of tropical rainforests. We've also spoken with hundreds of potential customers, from parents who shop at Whole Foods to athletes, and it's clear that it's not just us. People are sick of these unhealthy snacks, and they're sick of literally feeling chronically ill. These snacks are contributing to things like heart disease and diabetes, which now affect over 50% of Americans. People want a healthy snack that tastes great, and they want a better way to consume adaptogens to boost their energy and sharpen focus than the pills and powders that are currently out there. We're ready to deliver something better. That's NeuroPuffs. We're so excited to tell you about our main ingredient, cordyceps. It looks kind of like a Cheeto, but it's actually a mushroom superfood packed with adaptogens that's been used in traditional Chinese medicine for millennia to boost energy and sharpen focus. It was recently domesticated, and since then, hundreds of peer-reviewed, federally funded studies have demonstrated its effects that are both great for your brain and your body. We are making those benefits accessible and snackable, and 1,000 times healthier than a Cheeto or Dorito.
We grow our mushrooms on food waste from local businesses, like brewery grains and coffee grounds, and then dry the whole mushroom fruiting body, which is full of protein and fiber, and dust on real cheddar cheese. The result is a nutritious snack that tastes amazing and doesn't need any preservatives. It will stay crisp in the plant-based compostable packaging that we have selected to use. So we're turning waste into food and producing a fully circular product.
NeuroPuffs is perfectly positioned to take advantage of two booming trends in snacks: health and wellness and sustainability. The global snack industry is worth over $700 billion, and it's moving towards these trends in health and wellness. As those trends continue to rise, NeuroPuffs is perfectly positioned to grow alongside them. Our strategy, though, is hyper-local. We're focused on community tastings and events, and we're going to start right here in Connecticut with community tastings direct to consumer. Then we're going to partner with the cafes and breweries that already supply our inputs, and then after graduation, we'll move into warehouse space, co-packing, and regional grocers. We'll launch at the competitive price at $4.99 per bag, and our cost of goods is 50 cents now for our prototype, giving us exceptional gross margins. We're able to maintain really great margins because we control all of our ingredients, and we're planning to supplement our revenue with mushroom compost as well. The snack aisle is crowded for sure, but the healthy, but the healthy shelf isn't. You may have seen other better-for-you snacks out there, but honestly, not all of them taste that great, and they're not always as healthy as they seem. NeuroPuffs is the only snack out there that's functional, sustainable, adaptogenic, and it's already in a familiar puff that people know and love. We won the Startup Yale Poster Prize back in April, and that $2,000 gave us exactly the money we needed to get started and begin building prototypes. It's been the absolute best to create those prototypes and then share them with our target customers and hear, these are so good, when can I buy them? Since then, we've validated the technical feasibility of our product by growing on multiple food waste streams. We've increased our waitlist and proven traction by increasing our waitlist to over 340 people ready to purchase. And we validated the idea with industry experts, food experts, CPG experts, and also retailers in New Haven. That momentum brought us here today. This funding is catalytic for us to move from prototype to first sales. We'll use it to increase our mushroom growing capacity so that next time everybody in the audience will be able to try NeuroPuffs. We'll use it to create branded compostable packaging that's ready to eat wherever you are. And we'll use it to move from that prototype to first sales stage. And that's just the beginning. We've begun growing white cordyceps for international flavors and vegan flavors, and we have mentors and colleagues positioned to sell NeuroPuffs back into Asian markets as well. NeuroPuffs is a mission-driven, triple bottom line business, creating benefits for people and the planet as we increase our profits. We are ready to turn upcycled food waste into the next generation of healthy snacks, starting right here in Connecticut, and we have hundreds of people ready to buy their first bag of NeuroPuffs. Thank you to Shobha and Peter for all of your support. Thank you to the judges, and thank you to all of you for joining us in our mission.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have actual snacks.
All right.
Ooh.
Here you go.
Thank
Taste
you.
test.
Of course.
Great. Really good.
It's good.
Those are out of Yale. Talk to us about Connecticut and the co-manufacturing market here and how is that accessible? Obviously, Connecticut has a number of amazing businesses. When I think about co-packing, is this a place that they actually have co-manufacturers and co-packing here in Connecticut?
Yeah, so we're starting out here and making sure that we can sell direct to consumer and validate traction here first. So we want to make sure we can do everything like in-house by ourselves and sell here in Connecticut. I am from Connecticut. I'm staying in Connecticut and maintaining the business in Connecticut. Adam's from Oregon, so we're thinking about moving into co-packing as well in Oregon and using both spaces. He also has connections for warehouse space and increasing production capacity there. So we want to make sure that we can have the bags and packaging here first before moving into that next stage.
And as far as distribution, is this something that the two of you are planning on doing? Are you thinking about partnerships? How are you thinking about distribution?
Yeah, definitely working on partnerships as well. We have partners and mentors in the snack and CPG space that we've met throughout this journey, throughout StartUp Westport, throughout Yale, who are helping us as well with the packaging and distribution, because of course that's not our expertise.
First of all, it does taste like a Cheeto, so very good, thank you. I have a question on, so I really don't know and understand the upcycle process, or how does that actually work? And as you think about growing and scaling your product, how do you create quality standards that are consistent for the product?
So we can adapt our growing methods to a lot of different medias. Most of what we're using now is spent brewery grains and coffee grounds, but it's adaptable to many different things, including we've done cardboard, a lot of agricultural products like soybean husks, which is really relevant with what's happening in the soybean industry right now. So we're hoping to use this as a channel to provide, to be able to pay farmers for their refuse that they don't necessarily need or sell, and provide additional income streams. But it's also flexible for sort of home, commercially compostable things like coffee grounds as well.
And we've been able to maintain that quality control over those different mediums throughout the process so far in all of these different waste streams.
All of our mushrooms are testing pretty consistently at about 1 gram of cordycepin per mushroom.
My question is, it does taste very good. I agree, it does taste like a Cheeto. My question is really about the kind of consumer preference testing that you've done and just what feedback you've gotten that you've incorporated into the product, and also what the reaction has been to the idea of creating food off of upcycled food waste.
Yeah, so throughout the testing process, we've had to try different types of cheddar and do different mixes. I think that was one of the first piece of feedback that we got, was the right blend of cheeses to get a flavor that's really great and has that really familiar taste. Since we're introducing something that's so new, we wanted to have that familiarity and nostalgia of a Cheeto, of a regular snack. And also with the texture as well. We own all of the manufacturing process to develop the snacks, so we've been tinkering. Adam is really the food processing guy, who's been tinkering with making sure that it has that snap and that crunch. So that's a lot of the feedback that we've gotten as well. We do hear about the food waste, but it's more about like the mushroom thing too. A lot of people are, especially the people we talk to in New Haven, are all very excited about the upcycled food waste component. People are like, oh my God, I compost and I really care about the sustainability of my food. Of course, there are studies that show that people may not necessarily be willing to pay more for it, so that's why we're really focusing on the taste and texture and the familiarity of the product as opposed to focusing on sustainability. And then the mushroom aspect of like, I don't know if I would eat a mushroom snack. Like my dad is a huge snack guy, not a mushroom guy. But as soon as you try it, you're like, oh my God, cordyceps is not like a mushroom that you get in the grocery store, right? Like it has a totally different kind of a nutty, subtle flavor that goes really well with cheese and other flavors.
Got it. Thanks.
We have time for one more? It's very good. We love healthy foods in our household, so we relate to the very crowded marketplace for healthy foods, and the Shark Tank team would agree, right? That's what they always say about snacks. It's very hard to break through in a crowded market. So what's gonna set you apart? Is it the sustainability? Like how do you just rise above all the noise, and you have kind of made good out there and kind and all these other, quote, healthy snack brands that you're going to be vying for?
It's such a good question. It's something we talk all the time with our mentors about in the snack and CPG space. And for us, it's really about creating this cult following around like the excitement around mushrooms, around adaptogens, around sustainability, and around like the funness of the brand, like the fact that it's really exciting. And we have this story of how we met doing sustainable development work and food security work. And we didn't get to mention it in our pitch, but we're going to be reinvesting our profits back in, or a portion of our profits back into food sustainability and mushroom-based food security programs globally to help fill the federal aid gap that's been created. So we're really maximizing on that and using this product as a way to reimagine the food system overall and the way that snacking can be overall. So it's an example of how we can move forward and transform the food industry.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Amazing job.
All right, so now something happens that's very exciting. The judges are going to leave. You got to keep those on. They don't want you to do that. So the judges are going to leave. You're going to follow Georgie. She's going to take you back to do your deliberations. Judges get 10 minutes. We gave them a guideline that one big prize, and then the rest they've got to figure out of themselves. But they're very smart, so I expect they won't have a problem. While you guys go ahead. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Big round of applause to the judges and all the contestants. You guys are fantastic. So let's see. So I guess we've got something exciting to put on the screen. We now have an opportunity for our Audience Choice Award. So the team in the back room is going to put up a screen, and everyone can take out your phones, and there'll be a QR code any second now.
It's your chance to deliberate on who you think the winner should be tonight. So you'll be able to vote on that in just a moment when the QR code appears on the screen.
Here it comes. Okay, so there's a QR code. How about some music, Travis? Oh, really? All right, Noah.
Are you guys able to vote? Okay, let's figure out what's
Voting is, the QR is not working. Okay, can you move to the next slide, guys? Oh, can you hit next slide? Okay. Now are you seeing it? Okay, good. Ooh. Exciting.
Pretty close. It's pretty close.
Wow. All right, so while the voting is going on, I want to give you a chance to learn a little more about StartUp Westport. Okay, you guys can keep voting there. That's great. Can we switch to my computer, please? So we have a few programs that we've been building over the past few years here at StartUp Westport. We're going to start with special interest groups. So special interest groups meet on a regular basis. We have so much expertise in the region, and you know, when you have expertise, say, in AI or investing or marketing, sometimes you want to talk to people that actually have interest in the same subject as you. It can really go deep with you. And so that's what our special interest groups are about. So cybersecurity, marketing, and, artificial intelligence, and another one that's more broad called Women of StartUp Westport. These are all very active. They've got hundreds of members. We would love it if you would join and get to know the crew. It's a terrific bunch, and we really encourage you to join. Another program that we've got on board, we've been doing a long time, thanks to Noah and Susan, is the mentorship program. And in this program, we ask people to tell us if they want to be a mentor or a mentee. We ask them to share information about themselves, what they could help with or what they need help with. And then we have a system and great people who match the mentors to the mentees. It's worked really, really well. It's been very popular, and we've seen a lot of great companies. Actually, you know, at least one of the companies that was in the competition, GUM, was part of mentorship, then went to the pitch competition. So we like seeing that flow of people leveraging different programs to get involved in any way they like. And finally, you know, we are a nonprofit. If you are so moved and would like to make a donation of any size, we would love it. And this is the QR code for that. There's a system called Give Butter, so it'll mark down your nonprofit donation. All right, so let's go. Okay.
Let's go see. Shall we see what the results are, guys? When the audience vote. Okay, so let's get back to that page.
Ooh. Oh, Mirabelle.
It's still moving, but it looks like the audience vote Mirabelle Medical has it. So let's see when.
Does anyone need the QR code again to vote? Okay, can we have the QR code again? Oh. Okay. So here's the QR code again. All right, I see a lot more voting coming. You can see it on the right-hand side, 290, 20. Wow, we have a lot of people here. We're so excited to have such a big crew.
We almost have 300 people who voted, which is great.
Okay, now go to the next page. All right. It seems like the percentages are really holding firm. Well, yeah, so our friend Dan Moog says everyone has to hit submit at the bottom of the page. All right, well, you know, one thing I always like to do with these sort of occasions is to encourage people to turn to someone to their right or left that they don't know and shake their hand and see what they're up to. So why don't you guys take a little minute to do that, and we can put on some music.
Yeah.
What? I want to try one.
Who wants to try one? Anyone want to try?
What's that? Wanna try one?
I have gum in my mouth, so I can't, but I'm sure it's great. I'm allergic to cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Take our girl later. Is it good? If he likes it. Give me a
He
couple
wants
more.
more. You want to try one?
Oh, thank you. What a great set of
Okay, guys, we have our results. So everyone start to take your seats. Our judges are coming back out. They're just going to make their way to the stage.
Thanks, folks. So so the audience choice, can we just flip that up again for 1 second? So Mirabelle. Oh, wheel price.
It's neck and neck.
Neck and neck. Wheel price. Wow.
See what the judges have to say.
Good job. All right. All right, so I think you judges come on up. And it's very exciting. Can you feel the tension? So this is the Audience Choice Awards, guys.
Okay, all right.
Everyone
yeah.
voted with their phones.
You did.
All right, let's put up the slate again. And so, are you the?
Oh, yes, yes.
Kira's going to give us the exciting news.
Yes. All right, well, this was a really tough decision for us. The 5 finalists, we were all so impressive, inspiring, solving real problems. So it was a tough decision. But so what we decided to do is we are actually going to have a prize winning for all participants. So for, yes. So we will, the cash prize for those that came in kind of as a group in 3rd, 4th, and 5th place will get $1,000 each. And the companies, I don't actually know where the founders are. I would like to, they're all back here. Okay, all right. So we're awarding $1,000 to Chroma Shield, NeuroPuff, and Nexatax. So congratulations. And our 2nd place winner, who will win a grant of $5,000, is Mirabelle. So congratulations. And that leaves our finalists being Wheel Price, going home with $20,000.
Come on up, come on up.
Come on up.
All of our companies, come on up. Wheel Price, Nexa, Chroma Shield. Let's get everybody up here.
Great job.
Congrats. Yeah.
Congratulations. Great job.
Congrats. Yeah.
Great job. Really well done.
Great business. Great presentation. Great to see you.
Congratulations. That was awesome.
That's actually yours.
Yes, that's yours. Oh, yes.
Great presentation.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Here's Wally. Wally, come on up, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Congrats. Well done.
Do you guys want to all group?
Great job.
Great product. Yeah.
Yes, nice job.
Congrats.
Okay.
Great.
Come on, Wally. Wally.
Congratulations.
Come on. All righty. With the judges.
That's awesome.
Oh, hold on. And Bill wants to say a few words.
Go ahead, Bill. Jump in.
Why don't you congratulate them? Yeah.
Hey guys, listen, congratulations. That was amazing. What a phenomenal presentation. What a phenomenal idea. As, again, I mentioned earlier that we're early stage investors. We've invested in probably half a dozen different marketplaces.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, this is a winning idea. It really is. So congratulations. To everybody here, just an incredible night for Westport, an incredible night for innovation in Westport and Connecticut in general. StartUp Westport, you killed it tonight. You absolutely did.
Thank you.
I mean, as evidenced by this fantastic crowd and the excitement we saw tonight, keep your dreams alive, you guys. I mean, resilience is the key, and everyone here has got a great idea, and execution is what it's all about. So take tonight and learn from it and go out and kill it.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you all for being here. Anyone, any other comments? Cliff?
The only comment is congratulations to everybody. An amazing job. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to all the contestants. Thank you to Peter and Shobana, who did an amazing job. Super successful. Yeah. Question is, should we do it again next year? Okay. Thank you.
I've already written the memo on how we're going to do it next year. It's slightly different. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Well, let's get a more formal picture.